It's a well-known fact that camping and overlanding highly reduces stress and increases quality of life. Konnichiwa, g'day, bonjour, and welcome. Today we're gonna have a little bit of fun in this video. I want to talk about finding that healthy balance where one half of a relationship is maybe not so keen as the other on overlanding and camping. Now, before I go any further, because I know for sure that there's people watching right now where one partner has turned the head to give the other the guilty glare. Please, I'm not out to start any domestic disputes in this video, so please watch it with an open mind. It's all a bit of fun. Over the many years that we've been full-time overlanding, we've received an overwhelming amount of comments and feedback with the statement, "I'd love to get into overlanding and camping, but my partner would never do it." I also want to mention that this video is not aimed at convincing your partner to get into something as committing as what myself and Steph are doing. This could be aimed at anything as short as a weekend getaway. All right, let's get into it. So before you even stand a chance of convincing your loved one to head bush with you and rough it, you definitely need to have earned a few brownie points. If you've spent the last few months squirming your way out of things that your partner wants you to do, then you don't stand a chance from the beginning. If your partner has never been camping before, then I highly recommend that first trip to be more of a glamping trip than a hardcore off-grid setup. Glamping, short for glamorous camping, is a great introduction to this wonderful lifestyle. Many campsites are completely set up for a weekend of glamping, with options such as small, self-contained cottages or bungalows to on-site caravans and luxurious tents. In fact, I'm going to admit right now that Steffi and I have even done a bit of glamping ourselves. 6 years ago, we went on a rock climbing trip to Waterval-Boven in South Africa. We stayed for 4 weeks in an on-site tent in a climbing campsite that was fit for royalty. This thing was amazing, with a beautiful queen-size bed, to this day the most comfortable bed we've ever slept in. Excellent. The weekend glamping trip was a great success. Good times had by all. Time to take it to that next level. Maybe try a bit of tent camping. Again, I would suggest an established campsite with access to amenities. Going straight from glamping to off-grid camping, then handing the partner a shovel when they ask where the toilet is probably going to reduce your chances of future trips. Be comfortable with a decent sized tent. Good sleeping arrangements like a big inflatable mattress and cozy blankets. Sleeping in a tiny two-person tent is something that takes time to get used to and probably not a good idea for that first time in a tent experience. Plan a few activities or day trips. A person getting bored on their first time camping trip is another sure way to lower the chances they'll agree to a follow-up trip. Be prepared for bad weather. Even the most passionate overlanders and campers will agree that camping in terrible weather can be a less than average experience. Have a shelter in place other than your tent where you can sit around and relax without getting wet. Plenty of warm clothes and bedding if it's expected to be cold. Waking up freezing in the middle of the night in a tent and not being able to get warm is not an enjoyable experience, I can tell you. Returning from a weekend of wet, cold, and miserable camping is definitely not going to lead to a follow-up trip. Don't forget the bug spray. This is a very important one. Mozzies and midgies will quickly kill the vibe on any camping trip. Mozzies are mosquitoes, for anyone not familiar with that particular piece of Australian slang. For me, nothing beats remote wild camping, as far from civilization as possible. This is not something I'd recommend for first-time campers. When you do feel the time is right to get off the beaten track and go bush, you really want that uncertain partner to have a great experience. Otherwise, you'll definitely be stuck to only established campgrounds for the future. Do your research. Go to a spot you know well. You really don't want to be searching for last-minute campsites in an unknown area. This will definitely not be doing anything to boost your unwilling partner's confidence in your off-grid camping abilities. Eat well and plenty. Camp cooking is such an important and fun part of the experience. If you put on some epic and delicious feasts out there in the bush, you've won half the battle. If you've gone remote, then the chances are there'll be no toilets or showers. Unless you carry a porta potty or a shower on your setup, then you'll be getting back to nature. Don't expect a wild camping newbie to be so comfortable to wander off in the bush with a shovel to take care of business. Although this might seem like an absolutely natural thing to seasoned campers, to others, it's not. Dig a dedicated toilet on arrival, nice and deep. If squatting is an issue, do the old toilet seat on a cutout bucket trick. A privacy tent could also be a good idea idea, and this can be used for a shower tent as well. Wild camping is as the name suggests, wild. This usually means very remote, away from towns and services, and without phone reception. All of these things can understandably lead to a feeling of insecurity and even a little bit of fear to first-time overlanders and campers in a remote area. Noises in the middle of the night, cars and people arriving during the night, and even the absolute silence can have the imagination running wild. This is absolutely normal human nature. We've all experienced it. There's no quick remedy for this feeling, but I can assure you it does get better with time. I would suggest for the first couple of times doing these extremely remote trips to go with some groups of people, friends, family. As the old saying goes, safety in numbers. And if your unwilling partner is gonna sleep better knowing that you're with a large group, then all the better. Not to mention, a social camping trip with mates is the best fun. Especially so on an off-grid camping trip, have things to do. In the world we live in, a lot of people are gonna be completely lost without phone reception. That's a fact. An area with nice hiking, for example. Some fun evening activities like cards or board games. Even a movie night on a camping trip can be fun, as long as you're not watching Wolf Creek, of course. In my personal opinion, nothing beats an evening in the bush, sitting around a cozy campfire, sharing stories with loved ones and friends. Alright, I reckon I've gone on enough about all of that. In finishing up, I'll say that if you have been unsure about camping or overlanding, please give it a go. You've not lost anything by committing to a weekend away and a night under the stars. The potential gains are unlimited beyond mentioning. Please get out there and most importantly, have fun. Cheers and catch you all later.